Hello and welcome. So I'm going to keep this fairly short to cover all the important questions and answer covering during the live forum Q&A session. So the 2007 server will be scheduled for this Friday, this 22nd. It may or may not be online late, but they're just trying to get the patch on most of the game-breaking bugs that have been around during 2007. So this will be the full release. They do not plan to roll back anybody unless maybe if they miss something important, but we're going to be looking at about 50 worlds at the start. They will have extra servers if there are not enough worlds, so there's that. As for Tutorial Island, it's probably going to be awfully crowded at the start, but they're looking into solutions to solve that. As for gambling, there will be no prevention measure if a development team is appointed. It can be something they address in the future, but at the beginning there will be nothing to prevent it. This first post on the top here is pretty interesting. If the vote comes just below a certain threshold, they're willing to consider disregarding the difference. So say if we just hit below like 500,000, they're willing to disregard the difference of that and just go with the 500,000 plan. So it's nice to see that it makes it a little bit more obtainable. The logout timer will be changed to 5 minutes rather than 90 seconds like it was back then, but it kind of depends on if it makes it into development. There will be a separate high score. Their stance on luring and scamming will not be how it was in 07. It will be tolerated like it is in the current game. Sad, but, well, it's just sad. The wilderness ditch will remain. They're willing to deter luring, but they're not going to punish people for it, so oh well. You'll be able to change your name. You'll log in just like how you do for the live game, and the name people see will be the same as your display name. So as long as your display name is not your login name, you have nothing to worry about. Random events will exist. No bonus XP ever. Hopefully they keep their word on this. Multi-logging is allowed if you're on 2 separate accounts, but they only said one on the EOC, one on the 07 server. But that's all they said. They didn't say if you could multi-log on the same server or the same world, but that's about as much clarification as we get since pretty much each Jmod that you ask will have a different answer. Monsters and drop rate will remain the same as they were back then. They do not plan to add any microtransactions into the 07 server, so let's hope they keep their word on this as well. They're willing to do free-to-play style worlds where pay-to-play items are disabled, but it still falls back to how many votes are achieved. So unless we hit the 500,000 votes, the free-to-play style world will still be members only. There will be no grand exchange, and God Wars would take a few thousand hours to produce if God Wars was approved by the community. And that's pretty much most of the highlights on the FAQ. That covers most of the important topics. So thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day. Oh, also, I don't know if I said it in the video earlier, but there will be no rares at the start. They could find out some way to put it into the game with their development team, but in the beginning, there will be no rares.